Ethan, back at the whiteboard, and in today's video I want to tell you guys a little bit about why I decided to quit drop shipping so that hopefully you don't make these same mistakes in the future if you decide to pursue drop shipping. So if you're not familiar with what drop shipping is, you basically act as the middleman that facilitates the transaction between a supplier that you're in contact with and the consumer that's going to buy your product, right? So you never actually take physically delivery of the product, you just facilitate the transaction online, usually just through a storefront, through something like Shopify or Amazon FBA. All right, so let's dive in. So when I was looking at doing drop shipping, I was about 16 or 17, and one of the major hurdles that I first encountered was the complexity of it. Right, making a drop shipping business isn't as simple as downloading Shopify, right, making an account, and then going to Alibaba and finding a product. If you want to do things by the book, you have to pay taxes. You have to have a business, actually, business structure in place. And so one of the first things I encountered was some trouble with my LLC, and I created an LLC, and there was a couple missing pieces, and I really needed a professional to help walk me through that. And so that was a little bit of a learning curve. The other thing that I experienced was taxes and how complex taxes get. I went the Amazon FBA route. So basically, I would send my products to Amazon's warehouse, and then they would handle all the logistics and all that kind of stuff on their end. And like when you send a product to an Amazon warehouse, that's considered having a nexus in that state. So then there's a tax implication there. And then wherever you're selling your product, you have to have a sales tax permit in that state. Now, don't take any of this as legal advice. This is just kind of in the research that I encountered. What you have to have in place. And so I was kind of confused on that. So there's that aspect to it, and also the accounting side, right? So I want to be able to know if the product that I'm selling is profitable, how my business is doing, paying all my taxes. And so there was an accounting learning curve that I had to be able to understand to know if my business is even doing well. The other thing was the software and services. So I get kind of stuck in the weeds when I do stuff like this. I want to make sure all my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. And so stuff like, okay, what company am I going to go with for building my business website? What mail service am I going to use for sending out emails? What accounting software am I going to use? What software am I going to use for plugins and things of that nature that are going to help me do research and stuff? And so I kind of got stuck in that, and I definitely made it a little more complex than it needed to be. But that's just kind of how my brain works. So the next thing was alignment. So it was like, do I even care about this product that I'm selling? So it was like this toothbrush thing, and I'll get into a little bit more of what happened there at the end of the video. But it was this toothbrush thing, and I got to thinking, and I was like, do I really care about brushing teeth? Like, is the thing that I'm selling really going to impact humanity in some meaningful way? And does this contribute to like my purpose of what I want to accomplish in the world? And it's like, brushing teeth just ain't gonna do it. Like, it's not gonna get me to where I want to be. And so, if stuff gets hard and stuff, it's like, pursuing this thing with this toothbrush device that I was gonna sell. It's like, that's not really something I'm passionate about. And so I didn't want to pursue anything that I was half-hearted about, right, in business or anything. And it's like, it's not always going to be rainbows, but it's like you can do things that are going to be relatively more enjoyable than other things, like when the going gets tough. Um, and so that's a little bit of why I did that. And it's like I didn't want to sell like wolf mugs or whatever, whatever's hot that month or that year. And so I wanted to have something that had some element of longevity to it, where I could create a business from this one product and then expand it and expand it, and it'd be very sustainable over a long period of time. And I just wasn't seeing that with this product that I was selling. Coming over here to the third thing was capital. So, after all my expenses that I had, and then after I would have purchased the product that I had, I would have been maxed out. Like, I wouldn't have been able to cover a business expense that was unknown at the time. If it came up, I wouldn't have had any way to pay for it because I was maxed out. All my money was tied up in this business, which is not a very intelligent way to run a business. All right, so I want to tell you a little bit about my own personal experience that I had with this. So when I was like 16 or 17, I did all my product research. I found something that I wanted to, do this drop shipping thing with. I went on to Alibaba. I found a supplier. They were in China. I forgot which province it was in, but I remember being up at like 2 in the morning talking with these suppliers because of the time difference. But I wasn't talking with them. I was networking, right? But anyways, I found this product and I got samples. Everything was good, so I placed an order for it, and I think it was like 400 or 500 bucks. And all of a sudden, I got a call from the FDA, and long story short, he told me basically, the company that you purchase this from, they're not registered with the FDA, and it was a toothbrush thing. And believe it or not, a toothbrush is considered a medical device, so it needs to be registered with the FDA. And the company that I purchased this from, even though they told me they were registered with the FDA, they were actually not registered with the FDA. And so basically, it was either they return it back or they incinerate the product. And I was like, damn, you're gonna incinerate it? Like, that's a pretty intense way of getting rid of a product. But anyways, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna deal with that. So I just decided to find a supplier here in the United States. And with the supplier here in the US, I had everything figured out, from the labeling, the branding, the packaging. We had a set price that we were gonna go off of. And all I had to do was pull the trigger and purchase the product. But I got basically to the crossroads here that I was talking about earlier. And that crossroad was, okay, I could either pursue this drop shipping thing with Amazon FBA, or I could decide to go into day trading and do that. And if you guys have seen my previous video, I decided to do day trading instead and proceeded to lose all my money. And if you haven't seen that video already, go ahead and take a look at it. So if you're looking at doing the same thing, you don't make the same dumb mistakes that I made. So there's a little food for thought if you're looking at getting into drop shipping. And I don't make this video to scare you from not wanting to do drop shipping. This is just kind of my experience and some of the hurdles that I encountered along the way. Thank you guys so much for making it this far into the video. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. All right, guys, take care.